everybody! Today we will be learning about Carl Linnaeus, a famous Swedish botanist. What did he do? We'll find out today. Carl Linnaeus was born on May the 21st, 1707, in a region called Småland, in a place in southern Sweden. He was the son of a curate who was a servant to the parish priest at the church. His interest in botany was inspired and helped by the teacher at the gym, who often gave him books about botany, knowing Carl's interest and potential. In 1727, when Carl was 20 years old, he went to university to study medicine. Because his family was poor, he could only go to certain lectures. However, his professor allowed Carl to access his personal library so he could learn more. In his spare time, he also taught botany to other people in the university garden. It was then Carl wrote clues that led to his discoveries later in his life in a series of manuscripts. In 1732, his university sent Linnaeus on a trip to Lapland. When he returned, he gave private lectures in botany. With his earnings, he decided to meet a friend who lived in a copper mining region of Dalarna in central Sweden for Christmas. At the time, if you wanted to open a successful medical practice in Sweden, you needed to finish your studies abroad. So his friend's father, who was very rich and was very impressed by Linnaeus's botanical knowledge, promised to fund his studying expenses in the Netherlands. The catch, he had to take his friend with him and serve as his mentor. Carl agreed. In 1735, Linnaeus completed his exams in the town of Harderwijk in central Holland, and he received his medical degree. Linnaeus and his friend then journeyed to the city of Leiden, also in the Netherlands, where he sought publication for the numerous manuscripts he had written in his university. He called them the System of Nature, which presented taxonomy of the three kingdoms of nature: stones, plants, and animals. Each kingdom was then subdivided into classes, etc. It was a new and easier way to identify nature compared to the older way, which was much more exclusive. He was immediately successful, and with the financial support of the local town senator, Jan Frederick Gregorius, and a Scottish physician, Isaac Lawson, it was released in 2 months' time. Funnily enough, it was a botanical section that made him famous. After reading essays of other botanists, he had become very convinced that the plant can reproduce sexually, just like us. On that basis, he had designed a simple system. It had become very popular, with Aramis Darwin, the grandfather of the famous botanist Charles Darwin, referencing it in his poem The Botanic Garden in 1789. That wasn't his main contribution to the art of botany, however. He then wrote The Foundations of Botany a year later, which framed the rules of classification and naming of plants. In 1738, he met an English merchant named George Clifford, who had connection to the famous and very powerful Dutch East India Company. He offered Linnaeus a position as the creator of his great garden, and Carl agreed. During this time, Linnaeus wrote many other books, including The Library of Botany, A Critic of Botany, Classes of Plants, Hortus Clifortanus, and Genera of Plants. Genera of Plants was his most favourite work, but it was questioned by some people who would not get a true answer until Charles Darwin released his Theory of Evolution in 1849. Still, it was very popular. He was offered a chair of botany at his old university, and he would buy seeds from all over the world because of his international contacts, and he would plant it in the university's garden. He was one of the most well-known scientists because of this. I hope you have learnt more about Carl Linnaeus today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Carl Linnaeus.